My name is Larry Thorson. I live in Miami Beach. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Thailand, 1963 to 65. One of the things that happened to me after the Peace Corps was I got drafted, and very soon I was in the Army in Vietnam. And I took my leave, first leave from Vietnam, and went back to Thailand and visited the school where I had taught in Aranya Pradet. The headmaster decided that he needed to do something to help me survive my time as a soldier in Vietnam, and he got a potion of monkey blood and whiskey. And this is what I had to drink, and I had had quite a bit of whiskey already, so it was not so bad. But this was a token of their great affection for me, was a drink of monkey blood.
My name is Libby Chinetti. I also, like Larry over here, one of my colleagues, we went to Thailand in 1963 to 1965. I taught a secondary school in Uthai Thani, which is about a third of the way between Bangkok and Chiang Mai. Presently, particular time I was taking the bus back to my town, and we stopped to have side of the road to get something to eat. There was a gas station there, and of course I had to use the facilities, and I went in and said, you know, men, women. So I went in the men's room and using the urinal, and they did have a urinal, which I was impressed about. However, the urinal wasn't hooked up to anything at all, and so my shoes got a little wet at that stage. But it did have a urinal, and that's probably my.
I'm Janice Harvey Hudanish. I served in Thailand in Group 3, 1963 and 1964, in the province of Mahasarakam.
Daniel Hantman. I was in the Peace Corps in Thailand from 1963 to 65 in southern Thailand, in most southwestern province of Trang, T-R-A-N-G, by the Malaysian border. And I taught English in the high school there, the boys' high school. I stayed on another 6 years working for the American University Alumni Association Language Center, setting up English language schools all over Thailand. I set up English language schools all over the country. I had 5 provincial schools when I started in 1965, and when I left in 71, there was 15 spread out all over the country. And I would go and give teacher training and do the financial administration of those schools.
My name is Daryl Johnson. I served as a Peace Corps volunteer in Thailand, 1963 to 65. That was the 3rd group in Thailand, 3rd Peace Corps group in Thailand. My posting was in the northern part of the country, in the province of Lamphun, which is near Chiang Mai. But one that I remember especially well was the flood. In the town where we lived, as in most parts of Thailand, the land is very flat, so you get a heavy rainfall for a week or so and you get floods. But it was not really a disaster in the sense that more recent floods have been. And it was more like snow days in North America. And the kids would get their little canoe boat, flat-bottom boats out and paddle around on the football field, basketball field, I mean around the basketball or around the soccer field. And it was like fun. It was throwing water and splashing and having a little water fight. And so the water was only about 3 feet deep or even less, so nobody was going to get hurt, and they didn't. But it was a lot of fun, and it lasted that way for about 2 or 3 days, and then everybody went back to school. So, fantastic. Thank you.
I'm Ruth von Fleckenstein. This is my husband Fritz. We were in Thailand from 1963 to 65 in the town of Lampang.
My name is Jim Moen. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Thailand, in the southern part of Thailand, in Yala. And also spent some time in Yaha, which is a part of Yala. I was there from 1965 to 1967. I think the amusing one was that somehow or other, as a 25-year-old young man, I managed somehow or other to survive without a girlfriend for 2 years. The more significant episode that happened in my career as a Peace Corps volunteer was the knowledge that I could learn a language as difficult as Thai. And from there, I went on to learn many, many other languages as 28 years to the United Nations, for which my Peace Corps experience provided the opportunity for me to begin my career with UNICEF, the United Nations.
Hi, I'm James Duncan Otis. In Thailand, they know me as Kun Utit, which means to give as in sacrifice. Everyone calls me Pak in America. I was in Wat Sing, Thailand, which is near Chainat, a provincial capital. Had to go in by boat. They didn't have a road. And I went in 1966, so I was there through 1968. This is when I first went to my village. The train stopped in Chainat, and some teachers picked me up, and then we went to the river, because there's no road to my town, so we had to go in by boat. On another occasion to get home, I took a motorcycle ride, and it had rained, and the dikes of the rice paddies were in bad shape. And so I thought I'd compliment the driver. I was early in Thailand. And I said, Kun ki gang mak, in English intonation. Thai has tones. And so what I thought I said was, you drive very well. And what I actually said, and what he heard was, you defecate with great facility. So he looked at me as though, how did you know? Anyway, I learned my tones fast after that.
Patricia Louise Williams. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Thailand, June 1968 until May of 1970. I remember one day, and this goes back to traffic in Thailand, I was riding my bicycle and somebody on the right-hand side of me on their bike made a left, and so we collided. And this was after I'd only been there a couple of weeks. And he had oranges in his bicycle basket. Of course, they were all rolling down the street, and I was on the ground, and he was on the ground. And I was pretty scraped up, not seriously, but scraped from the bicycle fall. And all of these people came and formed this circle around us, this huge people. And they were smiling and saying, they were taking care of us, but they were smiling and saying, Mait Ben Rai, never mind, it doesn't matter, Mait Ben Rai. And I remember thinking to myself, Ben Rai, this does matter, this hurts. And why are they all smiling? And why are they all saying Mait Ben Rai? And it took me, after I'd been there several months, to understand what had actually happened. They were trying to say, don't be embarrassed. It's okay. We're here to support you. Don't take it too seriously. You know, we're not laughing at you because we think it's funny you collided. We want you to be comfortable and to get over it. And we are being supportive to you. And it really took about 6 months until I understood what Mait Ben Rai really meant.
I'm Pete Coombs. I served in Thailand from 1969 to 1973. I was a volunteer teaching English down on Got Samui in the southern part of the country. Loved it to death and have been back several times, and will go back again next year to celebrate the 60th in Thailand.
Marjorie So. I was in Thailand from 1970 to 1973. Well, they put me in a town next to the 432nd Tactical Air Fighter Squadron of the United States Air Force. And I was at my school for 6 weeks when they came up with a great plan through the CIA or someone to seed the clouds to hold down the fighting in Laos during the rainy season. And this plane reminds me of living next to the 432nd Tactical Air Fighter Squadron. We stopped teaching frequently to let the planes take off and land. And I had friends come to visit me who didn't understand how I could sleep at night. And our school closed because when they seeded the clouds, we had flooding that washed out all the roads in our town. And the wonderful outcome of the whole thing was when we reopened, they were using the bomb casings, which were styrofoam, as boats, so that we could go around town in these little rafts. And I even went out to supervise my student teachers in a bomb casing. So we turned swords into plowshares in the Peace Corps.
My name's Adele Hansen. I was in Thailand from 1971 to 73. I taught teacher training at a college of education somewhere near the airport near Bangkok. My best story is that I met my husband in Thailand. So although I also had a wonderful experience teaching, I met my husband from Minnesota, and we came back here. And that's my story.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, my name is Bill Sauser. I was in Thailand. I was a Peace Corps volunteer there in 71 to 73. I taught English at a teacher's training college in Thonburi, which is kind of like Minneapolis and St. Paul. Minneapolis would be the Bangkok part, and Thonburi would be the St. Paul part. I probably was, I'll be 65 in a couple of months. I was 22, 23. So the kids were probably a year younger than I was. And the girls got on their knees at my office door and crawled to my desk, you know. I mean, that's how respected teachers were at that time, good or bad. And, you know, the boys bowed, and you walked down the hall, they got against the wall, but then I came back and taught for Osseo School District for 35 years, and it wasn't anything like that, so the complete opposite, but okay.
I'm Susan Smith Weber, and I taught English to English teachers in Bangkok, Thailand from 1971 to 1974. And I would really like to say that Peace Corps truly is the toughest job you'll ever love.
My name is Sandy. My name is Sandy Backus-Powers. I was also in Thailand from 1971 to 1974. I taught at a teacher training college, taught English, and I also had an opportunity to go upcountry and teach at a physical education college where I taught English and swimming. The Thai students, some of them were not quite as, they didn't float quite as well as I thought they should maybe float, but probably because they don't have a lot of extra adipose tissue, fat tissue. But they try very hard. These Thai students will work very hard to make you happy and to make themselves happy. So that was fun.
My name is Don Brady. I was in the Peace Corps from 1973 to 1975 in Nakhon Si Thammarat, Thailand. And that's southern Thailand, and it was a wonderful experience. I taught at a teacher training college, taught English, and coached the national championship basketball team there. So that was my most intriguing and fun experience. Thank you very much.